Meet Friday about 2 o'clock, if that's all right.
Yeah, that'll be okay. Yeah.
And Sarah, with you, I know your house was recently attacked. I have information, quite reliable information, that was Akil, Kasim, Jack. I don't know if you've heard any of those names as being involved, but
yeah, I have actually. I know you're on about.
Yeah.
So that's quite interesting. So let's see what West Mercia Police will say about that one, eh?
Yeah, well, I'll go through it all with you. I'll see you on Friday then. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That's weird because that's Sarah Rushton. Sarah Rushton's a survivor of grooming in Telford. But when I say we've obviously got 12 girls we've worked these programmes on, 12 girls that have sat down, 12 girls that have been willing to sit on camera. But I've approached dozens and dozens of other women about historical abuse against them. Names I'm given names, I look into it and I go and try and find them. Now this lady, I'm heard, has helped lots of other victims. I've approached her. When I approached her, I got told in no uncertain terms, fuck off, okay? Some have been welcoming, some have been cagey, some have been abusive. Sarah Rushton was one of them who was not interested at all in working with me. She's made it very clear she does her own work in helping victims of grooming and didn't think my politics benefit the situation. She was quite clear about that. But something's changed. Something's changed. For her to now, I've left my phone number with all of them. She's now contacted me, wants to meet up. We'll see her Friday and find out what's going on. And find out what's changed the tunes. I'm aware that her house has been smashed to pieces recently. So it's probably that. We'll speak to her Friday. Since I put out my promo for my first episode, there were 7 or 8 fire bombings, multiple houses attacked. It's one of those attacks that's brought us together.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Can you tell me what happened?
So basically, after you put your promo out, I was standing in my bedroom window looking down at my son. He was in the car and a black Audi pulls into our driveway. KP12 NUH was the reg. It was a black Audi A4 and I'd just seen Asian driver with a beard. He took a look at the car, which my son was in, and then he looked up at the window, seen me, and that's it, he's backed off. Part of me was thinking, what the hell? And then other parts of me is thinking it could have been a delivery driver, he's got the wrong address, whatever. So my partner had taken the dog for a walk at the time, so I just rung him and said, like, you know, what had happened, this car had pulled up. And then I thought nothing of it, to be honest with you. Nothing, you know, it didn't come back, just left it. Later on that day, me and my son goes out, we go shopping, coming back from Wellington and driving up the road where we live. As I pass this car, I clock the car as he clocks me, and he put the brakes on straight away, so I knew that he was trying to stop, to turn around. So rather than turn into my junction, I span the car back round so that I'd be following him. And at that point, he just span his car around, he come flying back up the road. And as we were virtually front on, he just swerved the car, and I don't know how, my lad, 15 at the time, he just grabbed the wheel off me. And we flew past, and then he put his brakes on again, so I just put my foot down, got stuck. There was a black Golf, and I don't know whether it was trying to hold me back or whether it was just me being paranoid at this time, but I was going to turn left at this point. He stopped me from doing that, pulled off very, very slowly, and then he took the left, so I just belted it, went down through Hadley, down a one-way street, trying to just get back to the house. Gets back to the house. Obviously we had to ring the police at this point. They've come out, said that it's not much of a risk, so we couldn't have any security or anything put in at this point. So at that point they just put a firebox so that nobody could send anything.
So a car has essentially come to your house and it's tried to ram you off the road?
Yeah.
And you just read out the registration plate?
I'll never forget that.
You'll never forget the registration plate?
No,
You gave the police the registration plate?
straight away, yeah.
And what have they done?
They said that they put it onto the AMPR and they'd done door-to-door inquiries down the road that it happened, looking for CCTV. But would you believe that they've got the car pulling up outside my house, they've got the car driving down the road when he rammed me, and they've got him driving back up the road, but the only part that they're missing is the point where he actually tried to ram me off the road. What they're saying is it's got multiple people on the insurance, so they can't prove.
Have they made an arrest? Have they been and spoke
No.
to anyone? No.
No.
They haven't even spoke to anyone.
Because
Are
they
you
can't prove the driver.
Okay, and I've got that registration plate, so I'm going to have a look at who owns that car, yeah? Myself. That was one day. What happened then after that? So we've had it investigated, and that car was owned at the time by Nasser Hussain. Nasser is also known as Harry. Now let's have a look at the family tree from our episode 2, where we looked at Munchie as the main target for the main alleged rapist. Who's Harry? Harry is Munchie's brother. You can see how intertwined and connected all of these incidents and families are.
It was about 2 weeks later. It was 12:20 of a night time. I'd literally just fallen asleep, and then there was all this commotion. I could just hear banging and smashing, and I didn't know where it was coming from. I opened my bedroom door. My son's coming towards me saying, "Mom, what the hell, what the hell?" And I could hear a beeping, but the indicators of the car were flashing through the curtains, and straight away I thought it was fire. I opened the curtains and realised it was the car, and I could just see debris everywhere, like just parts of my car all over the place. At that point I couldn't go out. My partner was on the phone to the police. Luckily, because of them ramming us, trying to attempt to run us off the road, they put the gas warning on the property. So when we rang through on that night where they smashed the house up, it literally took 4.5 minutes to attend the property. And the whole street was swarmed with police. The sergeant come down and he had them knock on everybody's door in the area, basically trying to get the CCTV.
Now, have they got? So I believe how many men turned up at the house?
There was 3.
Were they armed? Were they?
Yeah, they had an axe, an hammer, baseball bat. You can tell.
What did they smash up?
They wrote my car off.
Wrote your car off?
It's gone to the salvagers now. It's gone. My front door, the glass in my front door, my window, glass gone out of that completely. Luckily, my neighbour heard it and she screamed at him. And as soon as they heard her scream, that's it, they ran.
Have any men been arrested for that?
Yeah.
Why would Asian men, Pakistani men within Telford, why would they be targeting your house or yourself since I put my film out? Why do you think?
I guess it's guesswork for them. They're trying, any survivor, which I am a survivor.
So you're a survivor of?
Sexual abuse when I was 13.
You're 14 years old, you're pregnant, you're living with a 42-year-old Pakistani male. What was the situation with your mum and dad at this point? Like, were you missing
My mum and
from
dad
home?
split up, yeah, I ran away.
So you were missing, so you'd run away from home at 14. 42 years old, you're 13, 14 now, and pregnant. Was there any involvement from social services? Where were social services for a child in this situation? Where were they?
They never come out to the house, never did a visit. I remember having a meeting down in a house in Wellington somewhere, and he was sat by me. Every time I had a meeting, he would be there, so I couldn't open my mouth.
You have a meeting with social services, and the perpetrator, who's 42 and Pakistani, was present in the meeting?
Yeah.
At every meeting?
Yeah. And I'm sure he was registered as my foster dad.
Just you two?
Yeah.
You're pregnant at the same time. Were social services aware you were pregnant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the school.
And the school were aware?
Yeah.
No questions?
No, he used to drop me off at school in a taxi.
He used to drop you to school and bring you home from school? and you've run away from home and you're living with him, and there's not and so the man who was raping you was taking you to meetings with social services, and they were sitting and holding the meetings in front of him and with him about your protection.
Yeah. I wasn't put on no child protection order or anything like that. They never looked after me. They just left me there. And maybe I was a bit troubled, but come on. I was only 13. I was only little. Nothing to me, really.
Did he give you a drink or drugs?
Yeah. Well,
How often?
Weed every day.
Yeah.
Drink as and when I wanted it. To be honest with you, the drink was more Terry.
Terry Islam.
It was hooch. Remember that hooch?
I remember apple hooch.
That's what he used to.
Did you have your baby?
Yeah.
So you had your baby at 14.
Yeah.
This man, the main perpetrator, we were looking at him last year. We were getting close to him. As part of our other investigations into grooming within the town of Telford, unfortunately during the filming of these documentaries, he passed away without ever facing justice.
Bless you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
No problem.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Well, I had the police come out of the blue to my house and say that another victim had come forward and that they'd been told to come and see me by this victim so that I could back up what she was saying.
Had you ever been to the police previously about him?
I went to victim support when I was 16 because it was meant to be a confidential service, and I didn't understand then that certain things that they have to take forward, they can't just leave it. So I didn't understand that then, and I just laid it all out on the table. And she said, just give me 2 minutes and I'll be back with you. And she come back in about 10 minutes later with 2 CID officers. So she'd rung the police.
And how come no action was taken against him?
Because I was too scared to go to court.
Scared.
Yeah.
When you've gone missing, you're living with an older Pakistani man. Was your mum going to the police? Did she go to the police?
Yeah, my mum and my dad. But they said to my mum that it's better to know where I was, and they didn't want to rock the boat and have me run again.
That's what the police said to your mum?
Yeah, and that I was settled. And my dad, it sent my dad a bit, he was constantly on the phone, and he spoke to a sergeant and he said to him, your daughter's not the first victim and she won't be the last. I can tell you now, he's fathered several children with children. I'm still there.
But they didn't do anything?
Nope, because nobody had come forward.
You were still living with him?
But there's proof there.
He's, so we were getting close to him, we were looking at him, and then...
He's dead.
He's dead now.
He's dead. He died. Told me I was a filthy gory, something like that.
Do you know what that means? You're aware now of what that means?
What is it? A whore?
A white trash, white slag.
Yeah, well.
So it seems that your perpetrator took you as his property, as his singly.
They said that I was damaged goods when I got pregnant, so they couldn't use me anymore.
Once you were pregnant.
Which they couldn't, could they? If I was pregnant, they couldn't sell me up and down the country, could they? With a bum.
What I know recently you've took part in it. There's an independent inquiry in Telford that's happening now.
Waste of time.
What makes you say that?
One, it's funded by Telford and Wrekin Council, and I can't trust them. How can I trust anyone? You know, 1996, 97 was my case when it was live. And you've got head of children's services is grey and bold. That, you know, that really puts...
Do you feel safe to name people?
No.
Have you ever felt safe?
No.
When was the last time you felt safe?
When I was sat on my nan's lap when I was a kid and she was rocking me. I just come hard faced now. But I've got the attitude that nothing bothers me, but it does. I'm a complete mess. I've not had counselling. I just got on with it. My way of getting my justice was to move forward, and I just threw myself into education, did whatever courses I could, raised my son the best I could. And I've messed up along the way, loads. I haven't meant to. I just feel a bit lost and angry because I never knew this was going on. I thought I was the only person back then. And it sickens me.
I know that this is difficult and then for you to sit and talk through. Do you mind if I ask why you're sad?
Why shouldn't I have a voice? Why has my voice always been lost? Why can't I sit here and stand up for myself without feeling scared of the repercussions all the time? I haven't done nothing wrong. I've never done anything wrong. I've tried my best. All through my life I've tried my best. Sorry. And then you got them walking around the streets still.
So when this was happening to you as a child, you was totally unaware of the scale of what was going on in Telford?
I didn't have a clue. Not a clue. I promise you, I never
No,
knew.
I sense from you, and you've got nothing. I can see that you are talking like you feel a guilt when you shouldn't, and you don't. There's no.
I know, but I don't understand what I chose to do, go and live with him and everything, but I felt at that time I got nothing, I got nowhere, I didn't care about myself. I chopped all my hair off, burnt all my school stuff, my books. I just took a bitch fit, I guess. I didn't want to be me anymore. I don't want to be me now.
Do you realise now that this was all that? Do you realise now that that's all the reaction of a cycle of abuse of a child? Do you view it that way now? Like, I know when you're. Could you see a 13-year-old child now? Could you imagine a 13-year-old child now being put through what? Do you see the crime?
I'm doing this because I've got a niece growing up, I've got a granddaughter growing up, and it needs to stop because I won't be able to handle it if anything happens to them.
Do you mind if I ask you about your experience at that age of the police?
I didn't see him.
You never saw them?
No. The only time I seen them was when they come to arrest me because I jumped a taxi from Shrewsbury. Because I was scared. So I jumped a taxi. 2 weeks later they come to arrest me and took me back, and they took me back to Shrewsbury because that's where I jumped the taxi from. 2 coppers as well. I was on my own. I was only 13, I'm on my own. They took me all the way back to Shrewsbury, to the cop shop. And as we're pulling in, this other cop car comes, they wind the window down, they have a conversation, and he turns around and says, yeah, I'll be with you when I've dropped this dog off into custody. Me?
How old was you?
13.
13. You're still living in Telford?
Yeah.
Are you aware of any abuse that's still currently happening? Is this problem current or is it historic?
Current.
It's current.
Yeah. Yeah.
I understand that you speak now with lots of other children and women who are survivors or victims at the time.
Uh-huh.
You've spent years now.
Yeah. And I chose to do that because I'm one of them too, and I can feel, I know their pain and their fear. And I know that I feel that if there was something like what we have out there back then I wouldn't have felt so alone in the world. You know, I felt there was no support, there was no one to turn to. And that's sad, because everybody needs somewhere to go. Do you know what my dream would be? And if I won the lottery, or if I come into any substantial amount of money, and I promise you this on my life, the first thing that I would look into was buying a retreat so that these victims have got somewhere to go, even, you know, if it's for a night, or where they can get an education, proper counselling. That is the first thing I would do, because there's nothing. And that we need that. There's nothing. And why?
The council, the police, everyone's now aware that you were a victim.
You know, when I disclosed at 16, they put a file in Mallinsgate Police Station with Chowdhury on it. When Chalice come about, not one word off him.
They didn't come and see you?
Not one word.
So when Operation Chalice came out, which was to look at the historic and go through the files, you have a file that shows you were impregnated at 14, you were living with a 42-year-old Pakistani man, and they didn't come and see you?
No.
You've never heard a word from Operation Chalice?
No. Not a word.
So how many other girls like you do you think there are in Telford? Because I've seen your top police officer attempt to dispute the figures of victims. But do you think we're aware of all the victims? Do you think the police are aware of all the victims?
No. This is massive. This is huge. And there's so many that are too scared to come forward or ask for support because they don't feel like there's anybody there.
Have you had any counselling?
No.
Where are you with trust?
Ain't got none.
Who do you trust?
No one.
Ahmed Nawaz?
He's Becky Watson's killer. And Becky's in the ground, 13-year-old child.
Sarah. Yeah, I'd just like to thank you. I'd like to thank you for taking the time. And
No worries.
yeah, man.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. You've got nothing to be sorry for, man. It's horrible seeing you relive it. But yeah. Thank you. You alright?
Yeah, I'm good.
You've done great, man.
Yeah, okay.
That must be fucking horrible
Yeah.
to talk through in front of three total strangers.
I wanted to meet you today because I'm a little bit concerned at the fact that I watched a video of yours and you said that you've got all of these people coming forward to you and you're not the right person to be dealing with them. And knowing what it's like to be in that place where you think that there's no one and no support or whatever is a really dark place to be. And I am in the process now. I've worked with victims and survivors now for a good few years. I've done my own research.
The fact that, as I've said, I'm not the right person for this. Yeah, I'm not a counsellor. I am not the right person, but I have had some people contacting me. And if you're a survivor, so you'll understand fully.
Which is why now I've set up my own organisation now, and that's called SAVE. It's going to be a survivor-led organisation because there's a lot of survivors out there, and our purpose will be to rebuild that victim's life, not take them back to the trauma, look forward instead of back. And I know that that's going to take a lot of hard work because I've already been doing that.
I'm hoping that this is what you're saying. So when girls come forward to me, there's a way I can direct them.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe if there was something back in 1997 when my case was live, maybe then I would have had the strength to go forward. Maybe there wouldn't have been other victims. I'll always carry a lot of guilt.
I saw that.
Because I know there's other victims of the same perpetrator, and like I say, I'll always carry that guilt. But this is about now looking forward.
You said it was your dream, yeah? So is this the first step?
This is the start.
And for you, so I've contacted a post-traumatic stress disorder, an organisation who deal with military personnel. They deal with women as well. They do a in-depth therapy, intense therapy. I've spoke to them about the possibility of 3 or 4 girls going for a retreat. Would it be something you'd be interested in?
Absolutely.
But they would coach you, so then you can coach other girls that come in and help them.
Yeah,
so I say girls should be interested in.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll make it. I've spoken with them. They want to meet you. I've told them, explain the whole situation. We'll put you both in contact.
Well, thank you. That's positive.
If there's girls watching these films, they don't know who to turn to. They don't want to ring the police. I'm finding they don't trust the police, don't trust the council. All of these groups have failed them, but they need someone to speak to. How are they going to speak to you?
At the minute, I'm going to do like a Facebook group just to get the name out there, basically. I'm going to have cards made up and some flyers, so at your next protest, maybe I can hand some out if you want.
We do have, every time we put something out, more people come forward.
Yeah.
As I said, I'm snowed under. I don't have the team to do it.
Yeah.
I do not have the team to do it. Okay, well, Sarah, you're going to face a backlash.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unfortunately, as is each one of the survivors in this. You are a survivor. I wish you every luck. And we've ended our meeting better than the first time we started.
I'm sorry about that, Tommy.
Don't be. I get it.
I am sorry, but
I get it.
This means a lot to me.
No, I get it. And as I said, you're totally right as well. It should be non-political. It should be non-this. It should just. And I'm the wrong person to be involved in that.
This is like people's lives.
Yeah.
You know.
I know.
Forever.
Come back to me when you've got your website. Come back to me when you've got any information, and I'll make sure that the people watching our videos are aware of who they can contact and how they can contact you.
Yeah, nice one.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.
Right, so I'm here. It's quite a big day for me today. I'm here because I support the survivors, and with Tommy doing a documentary, I need there to be a place where them survivors can go for support. So today I'm meeting with 2 people from a mental health charity, and they specialise in non-trauma therapy, which I think is the best way forward for these survivors. The last thing you want is to take them back to that trauma. This is about rebuilding their lives and not taking them backwards. So I'm hoping that this today goes really well and that we get the outcome that we want, which is for possible training, and so that maybe I will have the therapy, try it out, and then maybe then I will be able to then pass that therapy on to the people that I work with. SAVE is a survivors-led organisation, so I'd like all of the ladies who are involved to do this therapy as well, and for them to be able to deliver it as well as use it themselves.
So hi Sarah, I'm Vicky, my partner Mick.
Yeah, I'm Mick.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, yeah. So Sarah, do you have any questions?
I have, yeah, I've just wrote a few down.
Well, I think that's probably the best way to start, really.
What I really need to know is what it involves, what the therapy involves. I'm quite interested in the non-trauma therapy, because I think for the survivors that's the best way forward for them, because I'd never want to take them back to that trauma. I'm all about rebuilding their lives, moving forward. Even though you'll never get over what's happened to you in the past, you can make a better future, I truly believe.
I'm ex-military. I served in the military for 30 years.
Thank you very much.
So I ended up in lots of rooms where I was training the military, and they were presenting things like nightmares, flashbacks, which really it was then sort of given the label post-traumatic stress disorder. So first and foremost, it's non-trauma focused, and equally what we look at doing also is if anyone's medicated, we look at helping them coming off medication, because ultimately your body, if it's treated properly and if it's put in the right emotional space, can create everything that it needs to create. So that's like a long-term thing, and we always do that with medical guidance, but essentially we want you to be chemical-free, we want you to be alcohol-free, drug-free, distraction-free, so that you can get on and live your life. We literally help people change all of the emotional stuff that they've experienced that's holding them back, and that's what we do. And of course, this is, we all of the quality work is always done as a one-to-one. We do run group work where we get groups together. All of the quality change is a one-to-one session.
Yeah, because a lot of people struggle with group.
Yeah, absolutely, they do.
You know, a lot. I'm excuse me, I'm one of them people that I like it to be on my own until I've built trust, or I know where I am.
We just literally run a 7-day. We've just done a 3-day program for 7 people. There's no requirement to talk as part of that group, not until you've changed. Because when you've then changed, what happens is every conversation you have after you've changed becomes cathartic, and equally sharing experience with others at that point, if you want to, is a very, very powerful thing. So ideally, we would want to train people that have been through that journey in some of the stuff we do, because some of it's very simple. And I've never believed, even from the offset, which I started in 2006, and I've probably sat with way over 4,500 veterans, just veterans on their own, in one-to-ones. We've never believed in coping strategies because they just really, it's like putting a plaster on something.
Masking the problem.
Yeah, and of course, there's really nothing can touch it at the level of emotional transition.
So how long does it take? How do you do your work with these? How do you do it?
So generally speaking, what we would do is we'd look at creating a change program for a small group of people. But that group would stay together for 3 to 4 days, and what we would do is they would all receive individual one-to-one sessions that are designed to change them. There's also a level of education that goes with it, so they can understand what makes them tick. They can work out the triggers. They can also have moments where they recognise what they've changed, because that change needs to be integrated into their experience.
We kind of describe ourselves as a tour guide. We take you on a journey, and we guide you through a series of questions where you go in and you find your own answers at the level of your unconscious. And this may seem quite a difficult thing for you to get your head around at the moment, and we would totally understand that. But you have all of your answers in here, whether you believe it or not, and we take you on that journey so that you can change your relationship at the level of anger, sadness, fear, guilt, hurt, anxiety, that we help you change your belief system.
So after they've done that 3-4 days or whatever, what happens then? Is that it? Is that...
No,
not at all. People can...
We create communities anyway. But equally, what we would look at doing with any particular organisation would be to create a group of its own coaches. So it's got its own focal point,
Yeah.
it's got its own expertise, and it can then help itself, which is what we've done with other organisations. Yeah.
What do you ideally want out of it, Sarah? What do you see is required based on your?
I'd like to be able to deliver it as well. I'd like
Mm.
to be able, you
Yeah.
know, like I say, it's going to be survivors led, so all of the girls are going to need the therapy, and possibly the majority of them are quite capable of being able to deliver it as well. My aim, my long-term goal, would be to have a retreat somewhere.
Yeah.
To rebuild somebody's life, sometimes you've got to take them out, like you've just said,
Yeah.
take them out of that situation, put them somewhere else, let them reflect, even if it's for a night, if it's long term,
Yeah.
whatever they need. Because, like I say, there's nowhere, and
No.
I truly believe that if there was somewhere, the world would be a much brighter place
Absolutely.
for these survivors.
We're quite excited about the potential to help.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's how I feel, and
Yeah.
you've just got to get a little help along the way, haven't you?
And we're not into
I'm
long-term.
so-
We're not into long-term relationships either, Sarah.
This is not protracted.
No.
It's not years and years of therapy
No.
on any level.
No.
Some slowly, some quickly, but essentially, once you start to change emotionally, the transition is pretty quick.
And it might mean that some of the survivors, as you call them, may need to come on a couple of change programs. And we will be there to assist until people are in a resourceful space. And but sometimes that requires doing a change program, going away and reintegrating the new you, because the new you will be born.
Yeah.
And we're very much about, and Mick has the skill set to do that, to empower you and anyone else that want to go on and do this independently.
Yeah.
There's no need for us if you have the right training.
We can produce all the coaches and the trainers, so there's no problem.
I'd like that. Like I say, I'd
Well,
like
there's
to be a
nothing more
coach of
powerful
it.
than a survivor talking to another survivor. We find it with
Yeah.
veterans. We trained a number of organisations with their own veteran teams. And of course, the biggest cry with the veterans was, nobody understands us.
Exactly.
Well, actually, nobody understands a woman that's experienced some of the
Yeah.
stuff that she's experienced.
Yeah.
It's unreasonable to even expect them to do that.
Yeah.
There's nothing quite like veterans helping veterans or survivors helping
Yeah,
survivors.
because they've got the understanding.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
Again, going back to my retreat idea, I'd like to be able to cater for the children as well. So bring your children
Totally.
as well, because
We have a system.
it opens the doors.
We have a system for children that is second to none. I can't think of anything more powerful.
Oh, let's do it.
And the proof of the pudding's in the eating, right? So
Yeah.
we're all about results.
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool. Okay.
All right then.
Yeah.
Are we done? Oh yeah. Oh, I think it went fabulous. Couldn't have gone any better. Really, really positive. I'm really, really excited. Like, that's a major step for us in the right direction. They totally get it. Their dreams and goals are the same as mine, which is amazing. What's going to happen is I'm going to have the therapy, and then they're going to train me to be able to deliver the therapy in our own group. So hopefully there'll be groups all over the place, all over the country, not just in one location, because it's, it needs to be a national thing. But that way, I think it went really, really well. We need some nice people, really, to make some nice donations. Anybody got a 6-bed house we could lend for a week? That'll do. It's going to take a lot of hard work, but this will work. This is the way forward, and that's the major step in the right direction.
Fantastic.
To where we want to be.
Just catching up on how the meeting went with Sarah and the mental health organisation, and it looks very positive. One point, when I was watching Sarah at the end, she says,
We need some nice people, really, to make some nice donations. Anybody got a 6-bed house we could lend for a week? That'll do.
it's a location for a retreat for the girls, and I know the perfect location. I actually hired the venue years ago for filming, and it's perfect for this. So I'm going to contact the owner and see if there's a chance that maybe the girls can use it. And I just know for what it is, for where it is, for the location, for everything, it's perfect for them. So let's see if we can put that into action.
Yeah, we're just approaching. How do you feel about this place?
Excited. Look at it, it's lovely. I'm just hoping that this is the start of my dream that I've always wanted. Because it's needed more than anything right about now. Oh my god. Whoa. Here we go. Hiya! How beautiful! Look at this! Do you believe this? I feel like I'm going to wake up in a minute. Oh, oh, it's so beautiful. Oh, I can't believe it.
How you diddling?
Oh, so
you okay?
Don't ask, you don't get, and look up more.
Yeah, sure.
There's a fire pit here.
Yeah, the fire pit and the Barbie.
Oh. Yay!
Here. Got a nice living space here.
Whoa, where we go?
She's still in the living room, Michael.
Yeah.
Oh, there she is.
Amazing! So how many does that sleep? 1, 2?
It sleeps. It's
6, isn't it?
6, and then obviously that room there as well.
And what a lovely setting,
Yeah.
It's a lovely setting.
When it comes to training, will we do it in there and then?
Yeah, we'd use some of these bigger rooms. We'll work out a plan for
because we'll
that.
need a sort of space where we do the communal stuff.
Yeah.
And then, because there'll be 2 of us here, we'll need 2 spaces. So we may end up having to use the bedrooms or something.
Yeah.
Or if
Yeah.
it's nice, we can use outside.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank
Cool.
you for meeting me again.
Yeah, nice
Oh, what a scream! Thank you so much. We'll keep in touch.
Yeah.
And we'll sort out dates and things. Lovely to see you again. I can't wait to talk to you one day.
You'll love it.
Get some marshmallows on that fire. And I'm telling you now, no, I'm not doing the boat.
I bet you by the end of the week we get you doing the boat.
I bet you do. I bet you do. Can you just see how much I've changed since being here? Just being out. It's raining and I'm sat here like it's middle of summer in Barbados. With me 2 swans and me, one of them baby ones called Cygnets. Look at them. This is what we need, guys. It's almost like surreal. It's like I said, I had to pinch myself. Is this happening? Like, am I here or am I dreaming this? But now it's perfect. Look at the land. Just to go for a walk. I've just been for a little drive around the land, and even that, it's just perfect. If you just want to be on your own, there's a lot of space here to be on your own and reflect, and that's what a lot of us need, I think.
Download Getter now from the App Store to follow my every move. They have tried to hide these crimes for decades. Now they try to silence us on all their social medias. We need you to share this promo everywhere. Put it in your WhatsApp groups, send it to your families, send it on your email lists, and make sure everyone joins Getter.